Hi, my name is Jim LaPrad, and I have a PhD in the Social Foundations of Education from the University of Virginia, with a concentration in the philosophy of education. Formerly, I was a high school and middle school math and science teacher. Also, I'd spent some time as an outward bound instructor in Maine and also in North Carolina. And now my research interest, I would say, broadly includes critical pedagogy, and not only studying it and studying its use in schools, but also in how it can help enhance and help better develop, say, more moral and ethical learning communities in schools. I'd also include part of my research involves experiential education and also service learning. At the undergraduate level, I teach EIS 302, which is the Multicultural Social Foundations of Education, and I also teach EIS 401G, which is Educational Law and Policy, which is a senior capstone course for our teacher candidates. At the graduate level, I teach a course in Philosophy of Education, which is part of our core for our EIS Master's Degree program. I also teach for a leadership program. I teach a course titled The Diversity Implications for Educational Leaders, which is part of the Superintendency Licenseship program. I also teach a Politics of Education course for the doctoral program. An A student is a person who is engaged in the classroom. When I say the classroom, it's broader than just the four walls of the room. So it involves their engagement in class, but then also outside of class, in whatever types of readings or media or things that that are being assigned for class itself. One of the things I hope is that this engaged student is able to bring their lived experience, their lived educational experience, into the classroom and study it, and particularly see and have it evolve as it runs into some of the theoretical content and context of the courses that I teach. One thing is I hope that that they're willing to challenge their own understanding and challenge what may be considered their comfort zone from what they find familiar from their own educational experience with what we're covering in class. In my courses, I would say that students will be expected to complete assignments and assessments that involve both individual and collaborative work. Often these assignments will involve case study analysis and will have components that involve expository writing that is often both reflective and positional in nature. And I use often these writings and these presentations often as ways for me to infer understanding, student understanding of the content and their ability to make connections between the content. For me, I think the most important quality for any future educator at any level, whether it be a teacher or educational leader, is their openness and flexibility. One thing that we know that I guess is kind of an inconvenient truth is that all students are different. They come from different backgrounds, they come from different cultural contexts of the lived experience of home and the communities they come from. And as educators, we have to be very, very aware that the differences that they will bring to our classroom can both be very educative for all, and it also can be very derogatory for some. As educators, we need to be able to really, and to quote the words of Paulo Freire, we need to stand finished and recognize that in helping all of our students learn and grow, and to become who they can become, and to flourish in our society, that we have to be open for the different possibilities that all of these students bring to our classrooms.